Electric cars didn't start with Tesla. In fact, General Motors was first to put one on American roads in the modern era, the EV1, and later the Chevy Volt. Both bold, both flawed, and both crucial to the story of electric vehicles. In 1996, General Motors launched the EV1, the first modern mass-produced electric car. It was lease-only, futuristic in design, and aerodynamic enough to post a world-beating drag coefficient of 0.19. Just over 1,100 EV1s were ever built across all model years. They came in a handful of colors, including bright red, silver, dark green, and later metallic blues. Options were extremely limited. Buyers could choose cloth or leather seats, and they could lease models with the original 16.5 kilowatt-hour lead-acid battery or the later nickel-metal hydride pack that pushed range closer to 100 miles. The EV1 proved that electric cars could be quick, quiet, and efficient. But it also revealed the Achilles heel of 1990s battery technology: limited range and long charging times. By 2003, GM recalled and crushed nearly all EV1s, citing cost and lack of demand. Only a few escaped into museums and private hands. But inside GM, engineers took away a lesson. Range anxiety was real and would need to be solved for electrics to succeed. In 2007, GM unveiled the Chevrolet Volt concept. The idea was simple but revolutionary. An electric car that could handle the average daily commute, about 40 miles, entirely on battery power. And when that battery ran out, a small gasoline engine would switch on, not to drive the wheels directly, but to act as a generator. This was the birth of what GM called an extended-range electric vehicle, a bridge between traditional hybrids and true battery electrics. The production Volt arrived for model year 2011. Over its first generation, roughly 77,000 were built for the U.S. market, with global production totaling around 150,000 units. Buyers could choose from colors like crystal red, viridian jewel green, cyber gray, silver ice, summit white, and black. Options included leather seating, navigation, Bose premium audio, and polished alloy wheels. Under the floor sat a 16 kilowatt-hour liquid-cooled lithium-ion battery from LG Chemistry. Real-world range came in around 35 to 38 miles before the gasoline engine turned on to keep the car running. At the heart of the Volt was the Voltec drive unit. It used 2 motor generators, 2 inverters, and a multi-mode transmission to balance efficiency with performance. Battery cooling was critical. Unlike the EV1, the Volt pack was actively liquid-cooled. This system helped the pack last far longer than most early electric vehicles. But in 2011, laboratory crash tests triggered battery fires days later. The culprit was coolant intrusion after severe side impacts. GM reinforced the pack, revised the coolant system, and added sensors. Federal investigators closed the case, declaring electric vehicles no riskier than gasoline cars. The computers inside the Volt were just as important as the hardware. The battery energy control module managed cell balancing, temperature, and state of charge, constantly communicating with the inverters and the hybrid control module. Software was the invisible glue that made the system work. Despite the early headlines, the first-generation Volt proved reliable. Battery degradation was minimal, customer satisfaction was high, and the car quietly became one of GM's most dependable products of the decade. For 2016, GM released a fully redesigned second-generation Volt. Between 2016 and 2019, around 157,000 units were built worldwide before production ended. The second generation came in new colors such as mosaic black, kinetic blue, heather gray, Cajun red, iridescent pearl, and the standout citron green. Options included adaptive cruise control, forward collision alert, lane keeping assist, upgraded infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and premium interiors with leather, heated seats, and a heated steering wheel. The battery capacity grew to 18.4 kilowatt hours, but with fewer cells, 288 dropped to 192, cutting weight while improving cooling and efficiency. Electric range increased to 53 miles, enough for most commutes without burning a drop of gasoline. The drive unit was re-engineered, 100 pounds lighter and about 12% more efficient. Acceleration from 0 to 30 miles per hour was nearly 20% quicker. The gasoline engine grew to 1.5 liters, ran on regular fuel, and operated more quietly than before. Thermal management remained liquid-cooled, but with improved chemistry and software, the pack delivered stronger performance and longer life. The second generation avoided the fire headlines of the first. Reliability data showed only scattered issues, such as charging module faults. Most owners reported high satisfaction and exceptional efficiency when plugged in daily. The Volt never sold in Tesla numbers, but its impact was undeniable. The EV1 showed what was possible. The Volt solved the range problem with clever thermal management, sophisticated software, and hybrid drive. When production ended in 2019, it wasn't because the Volt had failed. By then, battery costs had fallen far enough to make pure electric cars practical at last. The technology and experience from the Volt lived on, paving the way for GM's Ultium platform and the next wave of electric vehicles. The lesson is clear. In electrification, batteries are only as good as their cooling, their control systems, and their software. The EV1 dreamed it. The Volt proved it. And the next generation is building on it.